I'm Darren.
I'm Derek,
And this is the Double D Podcast.
Last week, we made the announcement that we were going to be doing another interview, and that's what we got for you today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We have Savion Truitt, leader of the Savion section. We interviewed him today in partnership with Battle on the Border.
Yes.
Cincy Wrestling, a new up and coming, I guess, is the way I would word it. Although they got some pretty big names up there, some really great talent that goes up there. Make sure you go check them out. December 2nd.
Let's say not September.
Holiday Havoc.
Something like that. I don't remember.
I think that's what it was. Let me check to make sure, but it's December 2nd. I'll give you guys the address and everything.
I still got freaking Battle on the Border shows in my head. I can't hold that much.
I know
doesn't hold that much capacity. Okay.
There's too many things going on all at once.
A lot of capacity and a lot of wrestling events coming up here.
Well, it says you can't find anything. What do you mean you can't find anything? All right, here we go.
God dang it.
Just give me 1 second. I should have been better at this.
One.
That doesn't have where they're at, though. Yeah, it does. Holiday Havoc at the 20th Century Theater, December 2nd, 2022. I'm very excited about this. Just to give some background to those who don't know, Cincy Wrestling, like I said, is working with Battle on the Border right now in a partnership. And we got blessed with the opportunity to do an interview for them. So that's really exciting for us now. It's two wrestling companies that we've been working with. It's really exciting. I don't know if – hopefully we did a good enough job with this interview. Maybe we can, broaden our –
We're the Double D Podcast. Of course we did a good interview.
Fair enough. We're going to get to broaden our horizons as well. Anytime we get a chance to watch any indie wrestling, we appreciate it, and
Now, full disclaimer, I did not know this guy very well, so I did not speak very much during it.
Yeah, it's not like we've had this planned for like 2 weeks or anything. Darren decided to do absolutely zero research on his own.
I don't know him.
Look him up.
I usually base it off of what I see, based off of performance, base it off of the whole scene. But I haven't seen the scene.
Well, we're going to see him December 2nd.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We're going to see him December 2nd. Like I said, it's Holiday Havoc at the 20th Century Theater. Just to put, again, into perspective some of the people we'll get to see. KC Navarro, Cody Hall are going to be facing each other. We got Jake, Chris, and Savion. He talks about that during this interview.
Yes.
Cincy Tag Team Championship match, Infrared and GK Fam. Sorry, GK Fam. Infrared versus GK Fam. And there's also a Mr. Cincinnati match, Carson Drake, JJ Adams, Jake Shepard, and Adam Rogers? How do you pronounce that? That one on the bottom there.
I don't know. I can't read.
That's right. I don't know why I asked you.
Two of those you guys already know of.
Yeah, I apologize, Adam Rogers. Hey, come on the podcast. You can tell us how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, but two of those guys you do know of. Well, one for damn sure. Yes. The other one you'd probably know of.
So it is again at the 20th Century Theater. That is 3021 Madison Road, Cincinnati, Ohio. Doors open at 7, bell time at 8. $10 general admission presale and $15 at the door. And as always with any wrestling event, card is subject to change. We will be there. We will be fans. We will not be we don't have a booth or anything set up for this one. We're going to get to experience it like you guys do, which is basically, honestly, I don't know if anyone's ever wondered this, but I know we have some people who recognize us now. So if you see us at the shows, I want you to know that we know the same you do we know the matches.
Yeah.
And Darren has gotten to know what song to play when they come out. Outside of that, we know absolutely nothing.
So, but hey, if you're there at the show and you recognize us, come up, talk to us. Maybe we can film something.
Yeah, we're
always down to film something somewhere.
Yeah, all the time. We carry these things around with us now.
Fans, they're more than welcome. We're more than welcome to film with fans.
Yeah, and so make sure you come out again December 2nd. Go back. I said the freaking place, 20th Century Theater. Now I know it. Now it's burned in my head. I've said it so many times.
This guy.
So we'll be there, and don't forget also December 17th. Darren's dropping microphones. December 17th, Battle on the Border is going to be coming back. Still yet to be determined where it's going to be at, but yes. it will be back soon. And then also just December 31st, they have a show. That is where we get to announce who is in our Hall of Fame. Someone's really wanting to get
on the 17th. Not the 31st.
No, we do it on the 31st.
No, the 17th show.
No, it's the 31st.
Huh.
It's the 31st.
When's the Battle on the Border doing theirs?
17th and the 31st. They're doing their their Hall of Fame is 17th.
Oh, then we're doing ours is the 31st.
You know, it's
the
almost
opposite
like
of theirs.
It's almost like I'm doing this by myself.
It's almost like I got drunk that night we talked about this.
It's almost like I'm doing. So it is again. We said this week that it's someone, or last week we said that it was someone who has been with Battle on the Border, and we said we're going to do some clues. Darren can't hold the fucking microphone. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. What are you doing over there that's making you drop this? This thing is so...
It's so small compared to normal.
I know, you should be used to holding small things.
No, my big microphone's like 10 times the size of this little guy.
Jesus, there's so many...
It's like tiny.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of jokes I could make there.
I can hold this one just fine.
That doesn't do anything for the video viewers. The audio listeners, just eardrums got blown out there.
No, because I muted it. So you can...
You know, we're really running on
Now it's muted. They can't hear shit.
Well, turn it back on.
Now they can.
Now we're... You know what it is? This is so amateur hours, man. I mean, I feel bad for these wrestlers who they find out, I'm going to be on a podcast. It's really exciting. And then they talk to us, and within the first 5 minutes of talking to us, they have to be like, oh my God.
these guys, where are they? Why?
Oh
Nah, we're the Double E podcast, the best podcast.
Yeah, I think so. We're pretty awesome.
We are the best podcast that covers wrestling.
Wow.
There isn't any other podcast like us.
Okay. I mean, hey, I love our podcast too, although I think our podcast is a little stupid sometimes. But, you gotta have that little stupid.
It's gotta be.
Gotta have that little stupid in there.
But we've gone on long enough.
Hold on. We didn't give a clue for who our guesses are.
Maybe I didn't want to give one this time.
Well, last week we did say it was someone who was Battle on the Border.
All right, they've been with Battle on the Border for a lot of years.
They've been since the beginning.
Yes.
They've been Battle on the Border since the beginning. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking. Make sure you write down in the comments who you think it is. And they have appeared on the channel. I'll also give, I guess, an additional one out. I didn't know if I said that last week or not, probably. But they have been on the channel before, so go back and make sure you look. We've had, Russell act a full bland. We've had Hooks. We've had Denham. We've had Carson Drake. We've had Justin Xavier. We've had a lot of people on the show. Sergeant Ledbetter. Can't forget about him. We've had a lot of people on the show, so make sure you check it out. But what's more important right now is that we had the honor to interview Savion Truitt, who, again, is going to be at the December 2nd show at the 20th Century Theater.
Yes.
Is that right? I got to look it up again. I'm sorry.
Right.
That is right. So we'll be there. Make sure you're there, too. And make sure you go hit up Cincy Wrestling on Facebook. While you're there, make sure you go to Battle on the Border Facebook.
And also, while you're there, stop over to the Double D Podcast Facebook.
And you can follow us. You can follow us on Instagram, _D_podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Double D Podcast 1. You can follow my Twitter, DJDub00.
And if you just love me, add my Snap, Darren 1134567889. We also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, all right.
We never put our YouTube channel in.
I was going to say, for audio listeners, you can find us.
Yeah, we do have YouTube. It's Double D Podcast and Crew. We also got an email, and this is for both the listeners. Double D Podcast 123@gmail.com.
Yeah, and then check us out on Spotify as well.
Yes, we have Spotify. It's Spotify.
You just go to honestly, it's a lot easier. Well, it's a Double D Podcast, but it's a lot easier, honestly, if you just follow the links that I give out on Facebook or Twitter. So if you want to find us, go to my Twitter. You can find us on Spotify there.
Or Facebook. He shares it to his Facebook.
Yeah, or Facebook. Well, you have to be friends with me on Facebook, but I'm not giving out my Facebook information. So you can follow me on Twitter and you can find it there. But if you're friends with me on Facebook, which most of you probably are, then you see it every week. Make sure you go give us 5 stars. And while you're here on the YouTube version, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family. All right.
And don't forget us. Darren's DJing.
He almost forgot.
812-212-1675. I'm also the sound guy Battle on the Border.
Listen, also, real quick, we got a lot of really exciting things coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to get into it exactly.
Nope.
Just know that it's going back to Battle on the Border related. And I'm
fun.
very excited for the next couple of weeks that we have in store. So make sure you're here for the ride.
And if not, you should have been.
Yeah, take that.
You should have been.
All right, that's enough of our voices. Let's move on.
Get back on. Let's get on
to the interview.
Your voice.
All right, if you could please introduce yourself. I think the fans would appreciate that.
Oh, me? I'm Savion. I'm the face of the Savion section from Cincinnati, Ohio, baby.
Faith, now I've heard this Savion section thing. How can we be a part of the Savion section? Because I'm a little jealous that I haven't. Is there an invite? I mean,
Oh, to be in the Savion section, all you gotta do is show up. You show up at a show, and we got you. I got you. Don't worry about it, baby.
all right, good. Now, all right. Big question is, we ask this to every guest we have. What was it that got you into professional wrestling from the fan standpoint?
You want the short version or the long version?
You give us whatever version that you want to give us. Long version, preferably.
Okay. It's a funny story then. Okay,
Oh, here
cool.
we
Let's say I was 4 years old, okay? I didn't know what wrestling was. I didn't know what much was. But on Christmas, my mom gave me a Nintendo 64. And guess what was there? What came with it was WrestleMania 2000. And, personally, I think it's the best wrestling game to ever be made. I prefer Over No Mercy. But I digress. So as a 4-year-old, I'm playing this video game. I see all the characters and everything. I'm up here thinking it's just a video game. I didn't know that these were based on actual people. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing this little game for about 2-3 years. Next, I'm 7 years old or something like that. I walk into my dad's room. He got WrestleMania on. So I see The Rock on a turnbuckle raising his hand. I see all the people. I'm sitting here like, I want to be like that one day. So at age 7, that's when I realized that, not only did I become an official wrestling fan, I just knew that I would one day end up doing it myself. That's kind of the short, medium, I don't even know what to call it, version of the story.
I'll give you. It was a great story. I like that story a lot. You didn't even know wrestling was real. So when you did find out, did you start watching it weekly, or how did that go?
So after that, I would just catch SmackDown, since I think at the time it was on, I forget what channel it was, but I didn't have cable, so I think I was just watching SmackDown. So I would watch that however I can every week, So
who was your favorite wrestler?
I would say The Rock, and when he left, it was John Cena.
That's fair.
That when he came through, chain gang and all that, I had me one of those little chains.
Yeah, I had John Cena posters when I was a kid. When I started watching wrestling, it was post Rock. I mean, I don't know how old you are. I'm 22 years old, so a little bit of an age difference, but not too much of an age difference. I mean, I'm
26.
See, there we go.
I'm right there.
Yeah, so I grew up. I was a big fan of John Cena myself. Do you think that you at all? I apologize for this. I have not seen you wrestle live. That's going to change coming up in December 2nd. But
okay,
do you think you emulate those guys at all, or what style of wrestling do you wrestle with? I mean,
so that's tricky. See, I'm not like a huge guy myself, but I feel like I got a decent amount of size. At first, early in my career, I was trying to be like John Cena a little bit, but I realized that my style was more of a like an AJ Styles type, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Like, still picking people up, but also speedier in the ring. So, a little hybrid combination there.
Yeah, I like that. So, what age was it that you actually got into professional wrestling? Did you start when you were 18? Was it before then?
I waited till I was 19. I wanted to do it earlier, but I didn't realize that, that's a funny story too. Back in high school, as a freshman, 14 years old, I'm up here thinking that the wrestling program that my school offered was going to be, like WWE.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to sign up. And first day of practice, I walk into a room full of mats. I'm sitting there like, where's the ring at?
You didn't bring a weapon, did you? You even brought a chair with you or something that could have really brought.
Now, I didn't know what to expect, but thank God I didn't bring that chair.
Now, did you go through with the high school wrestling?
Yes, I went through with it. I fell in love with it, which I'm happy I did, because it helped me tremendously when it comes to professional wrestling. Oh. So, everything ended up going the way it should have in my book, you know.
Yeah, that's
then right as I graduated, I realized that my best friend, who was my wrestling partner for all 4 years, his uncle was in the business. So that was like a little way in to figure it all out, you know. So everything happened the way it was supposed to, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, it's always crazy how that works. It's almost like, do you think it's easier if you just get lucky and happen to know someone who's in the business that way, or do you think you can like just not know anybody, go through the wrestling school, the training, and get in that way, or do you think it's a little easier to get a break if you know somebody? Not that that helps in the sense like, it's wrestling is a kind of a close community, and it kind of might help you get your name out there a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I mean, so when did you wrestle your first actual match?
My first match is December 5th of 2015. So I'm coming up on my 7th year completed. So I'm excited for that. That's pretty cool. It's a special day for me.
Now, I'm sure that you've done a lot within those 7 years. Tell me a little bit about some of the highlights of your career in the last 7 years. You can start from whenever you want. You can jump around as much as you want. I want to hear some crazy stories.
Some crazy stories? Okay. I mean, just the whole thing. Like, I like to say that, like, I started like the bottom of the bottom. I feel like I'm talking like, I'm not saying, dang, like wrestling in front of a crowd of 20, weekly, and that's where I started from. And over the years, like I began to travel a little bit. I went from Ohio to Indiana to Michigan, and then slowly getting out there. But some of the highlights, I say, I mean, I was about maybe 2-3 years into the business, and I was in a tag match, but I didn't know I was in a tag match until, we were out there cutting promos, and out of nowhere, Teddy Long comes out of nowhere, and he just creates a 6-man tag team match.
Was the Undertaker involved? Was the Undertaker involved? He used to do that a lot.
Thank God I ain't the rest of the Undertaker, but yeah, I didn't even know that was happening. That's a neat highlight. That was my first experience working with a name. Just after the fact, I'm like, hey, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, what kind of guy? What's he like in person?
What's he like in person? He's a funny man. He's cool. He cool peoples. Like I said, you never know what to expect when it comes to these guys that's been on TV, especially the ones you've been watching since you were a kid, I'm like, dude, I used to watch you on SmackDown all the time, and here you are right in front of me, and you're just a cool guy,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, I don't know. They say not to meet your heroes, but sometimes it's kind of cool, It kind of helps me. It made me, like, super relaxed in the sense that, everyone or human almost, is like, I can kind of do that,
Dude, that is pretty awesome, especially since you had no idea, no clue. That had to be a heck of a surprise.
No idea, because I felt like I saw him earlier in the show, but he was kind of like in disguise. He had like a hoodie on or something. I had no idea. I just had no idea. He come out all fully dressed, suited up, music that hit. I'm like, what's going on? Another story. Let's see. I'm not good with stories. Another highlight. Let's say a highlight. Earlier this year, I was able to do some work with the WWE. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was about to mention it. I looked your name up on YouTube. I seen it. How was that? What was that experience like?
Oh man, that's another experience you can't really prepare for. It's a lot of hard work. You finally get noticed a little bit, and you get invited, and you have no idea what's going to happen because they don't tell you anything. You just show up, and you don't know if you'll be wrestling, if you'll just be backstage, or just I don't know. So the first time I got there, I got really lucky, and I was able to work with The Miz and Maurice, as well as Edge and Beth Phoenix. So that was pretty cool. just didn't even expect that.
No,
You
those
know,
are pretty big names.
it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you feel like you're being pranked because everything's so secretive.
Oh,
And so, like, you just go to this building, and they say park here, and then next thing you know, you're just thrown into it. And I think it's cool, but I can see where it gets scary.
Oh, I'm sure that was a big moment for you. I mean, how nervous were you?
Like I said, that's just one of those cats that I used to watch as a kid, So it was just like walking into a room, and there he is, like, oh, hey.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty dope.
So how did that go? Who contacted you? How did that work?
It was like a series of folks. I don't. It's hard to explain that one. It's just one of those things where you're just answering this and answering that, and then next thing you know, you're there.
That's wild, man. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited for that. I'm happy for you, man. I've never talked to anybody who wrestled in the WWE before.
It's pretty cool.
Now, do you like being?
Yeah.
Do you like that being?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you like that being attached to your name? Do you like the WWE thing being attached? I mean, I've seen people say WWE superstar. Do you like that being attached?
Just to be connected in some way, capacity with a company that made you fall in love with wrestling in the first place. It's one of those things that comes all full circle. I know I have a lot of work to do. I got so much I need to accomplish before I'm deserving of the name superstar or a title superstar. So, I mean, there's mixed feelings there. But definitely I want to be a superstar. That's the goal. So
I was going to ask that. So, I mean, that is the main goal here? You're pretty young yet, so I mean, you have a lot of time coming. I mean, do you have any preference? Do you want to travel the world, wrestle in like New Japan, stay in the States? They go overseas sometimes. You got AEW, WWE. There's a lot of wrestling. Ring of Honor is back apparently. I mean, do you have a preference of where you want to go? Are you open to anything at all times? What's your main goal over the next couple of years?
I don't know if preference is the right term. I would say my options. How about that? And I think my only option is to do all of the above, really.
Yeah.
I've done my fair share of traveling. I've wrestled Ohio, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee. I've held championships in all those states. I've wrestled in Las Vegas. I've wrestled in New Mexico. So, like, I've got some traveling under my belt. I think the next step for me would be maybe going international. Definitely Canada, Mexico's on my list. Over the seas, London, France, Italy, Australia, all of it. I want it. I'm hungry for it. So, in the meantime, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be working towards all that. And if I get that phone call to one of the big boys, then you know where I'll be at. So I think my preference would be banging out all of them until I can't go anymore.
I love that. I love to hear that. That's a great answer. Now, where have you wrestled that has the best fans? I mean, is it Ohio? I mean, Indiana. We're from Indiana. I hope it's from Indiana. Well, it doesn't. I mean, Vegas. I mean, you can't beat that. What has the best fans that you've experienced?
The best fans is wherever the Savion section is at, baby.
That's right. There we go. There we go.
Those are the best fans in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm a member right now. I'm a part of the Savion section right now. You want me?
Oh yeah.
Now, December 2nd, you have with Cincy Wrestling. You have a match against. Now, I believe it's. I should have looked this up before. I got a little nervous. Is it Jake Christ?
Jake Christ.
Now
yes, sir.
I was going to say. Now he is an Impact Wrestling star. I watched him not too long ago when I was OVE. I think when they were part of Impact Wrestling. What's that like getting to wrestle Jake Christ?
Oh yeah. Can you repeat the question on that?
I said, what's it like? I mean, what are you going into this? What's your mindset going into this?
Okay, so Jay Chris has been on my radar for quite some time, believe it or not. When I first got into the business, his name will often pop up. You know, Jay Chris this, Jay Chris that. You know, him being from Dayton, me being from Cincinnati, that's not a far drive. So over the years, as I've matured, you know, folks would be like, hey, one of my dream matches would be Savion versus Jay Chris, you know? And he's been killing it ever since I can remember. So for me, it's like it's time to test myself, you know? It's time to wrestle the best out there. And Jay Chris has been on my radar for quite some time, like I said. So why not do it now, you know? So going into this, I'm feeling excitement. I feel like I'm ready for it, you know? And more importantly, it just needs to happen, you know?
Absolutely. Now, he is known for getting a little dirty, if you will, bringing in weapons, not afraid to go a little, hardcore if he has to. Are you prepared for that?
I'm prepared for everything. I prefer not to get to the hardcoreness, but if it has to, then so be it. You know?
Absolutely.
I spent the last 7 years beating my body up, building it up for this. So if he wants to bring weapons in, he wants to bring flaming tables, whatever, I'm ready for it.
Oh man, flaming tables, that would be wild. Have you ever had a hardcore match experience like that? I mean, you do hardcore wrestling?
Not a big fan of it, but I've done a few. I haven't been through any tables on fire.
Oh.
But I've had my fair shares of ladders and tables and chairs and kendo sticks. Not quite the pizza cutters and glass tubes, but...
How does it feel when you get hit with a kendo stick?
Oh, man. Kendo sticks hurt just as much as they look. I mean, have you seen welts on someone's body after taking a kendo stick?
Oh,
You can't fake that. That's...
Now, what's your... Now, we're not going to spend too much more time on the hardcore stuff, but what is your favorite weapon to use?
These hands, baby.
Yeah, the more and more we talk to you, the more and more I want to be. Did you have a fan? Do you have a president of the Savion section? Because if so, I might run.
Oh, you gonna run for it?
I mean, if there's a position available, yeah.
I mean, we can always go for a section leader.
Hey, all right, let's go. Now,
lead the section.
That means you'll be the loudest.
Oh, I'll be the loudest. Yeah, I'll be the loudest.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll rally up behind you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. I got this. I'm feeling confident. You're giving me confidence. I got it.
Yeah.
Now, well, unfortunately, we weren't able to make any of the Cincy wrestling shows. Can you tell a little bit for the people? I mean, if you're watching this and you do or listening to it, and have you been to a Cincy wrestling show? We have not yet been to. So I would like for you to describe to us some of your matches, some of the other matches that you've seen there. What can we expect at these shows? Just give us a little bit of a background of Cincy wrestling.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got to come to one of these things. Because, look, I'm on it, first and foremost.
Yeah, of course, right.
Also, you'll catch talent from all over the country. And I'm not talking just the big names. Like, those are definitely a bonus. Right. And that's the price. That's worth the price of admission by itself. But you also get the up-and-comers, you know, folks that will be on TV in the next year or two. Like, you'll be able to say you've discovered them before they blew up. You know, right. There's guys that I saw on the first show, and no one really knew who they were, but then now they're on TV tapings just months later.
Right.
So that's what's to expect. And so far, I've seen nothing but solid matches. You know, and some of these matches are arguably better than what you might see on TV. So. I think that's what you should expect going in. Oh, some fire.
I'm excited for it. Like I said, December 2nd, we'll be there. We actually have interviewed somebody before who mentioned your name. That's actually how that was the first time I actually had heard your name. Like, I want to just preface this so you don't feel disrespected. We're very new to the independent wrestling scene. I mean, we've only been doing this for pretty much it's going to be a year in December is when we went to our first show. So we're very new. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So we were interviewing a couple months back. We interviewed Carson Drake, and that's when I first heard your name. Have you had any run-ins with Carson Drake?
Yeah, Carson.
Yeah,
me and Carson, we go back a little bit. When he first broke into the business, I was able to meet him, and I was like, this guy has something going for himself. He's got potential. And when I found out how old he was, I was like, okay, he might be next.
Right.
You know, 'cause he's really young, and I don't mean young in a disrespectful way. I mean, like, he's in that perfect wheelhouse for what they're looking for, as well as his talent level and how much he's grown over the past 3 years. It's almost scary, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tell folks all the time, like, even though me and Carson, we don't necessarily agree on each other in the ring, you know, you might catch us beefing from time to time, but you can't deny the talent. I tell promoters all over the country that this guy, he could roll with anybody, and you definitely want someone like that on your deck of cards. So yeah, Carson's he's that dude.
His head just grew about 10 feet tall.
Don't tell him I said that.
No, we've, like I said, we've interviewed him before. He has a little bit of a problem with us. He threatened to sue us before. I mean, we've got a little beef. And my co-host Darren here, he's got him, and they go back and forth on Facebook.
All I did was call him fat.
Well, I mean, how can you
That sounds like
disrespect him?
Carson talking about getting his lawyers to sue you and all that. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. He will represent himself. That's how arrogant he is.
Oh, see, now I do believe that.
That's an easy case.
Right. So what was your first match with Cincy Wrestling? Well, actually, even before we get into that, what was it? How did you become a part of Cincy Wrestling? Can you tell us that story?
Cincy Wrestling. Let's see. I had been doing a bunch of stuff as far as like we just mentioned. I had just did my little stint in WWE, and I was just kind of looking for something a little bit new, something that's a little refreshing. Like, of course, I'm from Cincinnati, so I've wrestled for a few companies in the area. But I heard of Cincy Wrestling, you know, just through the promoting and, you know, Facebook, you know, social media and all that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, this is new. What is this? And I started researching it a little bit. Then word of mouth, and next thing you know, a show's announced, and I saw the talent that was going to be at the show, and it was just something inside me just sparked, and I'm like, I want to be a part of this. It sounds like a lot of fun, and you know, there's a lot of guys here that I haven't gotten a chance to even be in the same locker room with, so you know, we're able to reach out, and you know, we're able to get something rolling. You know, I have a good team that got me in there. So the rest is history, you know.
Oh my God, you have a team! I didn't know you had a team. Did you clear with your team that you're going to be on this podcast?
We have no worries.
Oh, geez.
No, nothing to worry about.
I don't know if we've ever talked to somebody who has a team before.
Disclaimer: we're not responsible for anything that happens.
There's nothing to worry about.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm extremely excited to see, like I said, December 2nd. Do you know the name of the show off the top of your head? I apologize. I do not remember it right now.
Holiday Havoc.
I knew it had Holiday in it. Holiday Havoc, December 2nd. Do you know where it's at?
And it'll be at the 20th Century Theater in
Cincinnati,
Ohio.
I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. That looks like I've never been to that venue before. That looks like a really good venue for a wrestling show.
Oh, it's an awesome venue.
Have you wrestled there before?
Yeah, you know what? Ever since I've been in the business, I haven't even heard of a wrestling show that was scheduled to perform there. So I have no idea.
Oh.
I didn't even know we can even wrestle there. But then being inside there in the past is like, this is like the perfect venue for a wrestling show.
Yeah, this will be the nicest venue that I've been to. That, I mean, like, we've been to the River's Edge in Cleves. That's a really nice. That's also very nice. But this one, I don't know. There's something about the way it looks. I mean, this looks like it should have been built for like a wrestling setup. And
right.
You know what it is? You know, they had to upgrade because the Savion section is just getting too big. You know.
Oh yeah, and when them lights hit, oof, the music hits, oof. It's gonna be nice.
Now, as far as you go, man, do you have anything else that you want to promote? I mean, any other dates coming up where people can see you?
Yeah, of course. I'll be defending my APW Heavyweight Championship at Ascend Pro Wrestling. That'll be this month, October 29th, and that'll be at the Flock 6630 Hamilton Avenue, also in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Right.
And then, of course, we can't, we got to keep pushing for the December 2nd show at the 20th Century Theater. tickets are on sale, and we already know it's going to be a banger of a show.
I'm excited, dude. I am very excited. I cannot wait. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure we hit on? And Darren, do you have any questions? Anything else?
No, really.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to hit on?
Follow me on Instagram.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm at the real Savion Truitt, or you can follow me on Facebook. It's just my name, Savion Truitt. And I think that's all I have.
Well, listen.
Check out the Pro Wrestling Tees website for the Savion section. You can get all kinds of merch.
Oh, dude, do you have T-shirts on there?
Oh yeah, we got something real nice to wear while you're in the Savion section.
Let me tell you something. When we get done with this interview, I'm going to follow you on Instagram with our Double D podcast, and then I'm also going to buy a shirt.
Oh my man!
You know, the same guy that's buying your shirt also bought Carson Drake's.
Well, okay, but also hold on. Also, it says I hate Carson Drake on there. I have a lot of wrestling shirts. I brought a Brian Pillman shirt. I mean,
well,
you know,
that's okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Anything that doesn't have to do with Carson Drake's okay.
Gotcha. Well,
you know, I just put Carson over, so I guess that's okay.
All right. Well,
and you know he's going to hear this, right? And now I got to listen to it.
He's going to hear this? Oh no, baby, this is not good.
I mean, you know what? Listen, I mean, we know how you truly feel about it. You were just being nice because your team told you to be nice, right?
I can't confirm nor deny that.
All right, man. Well, like I said, we'll let you go. I'm sure you're a busy guy. So thank you for doing this again. I really do appreciate it. We'll be there December 2nd. I hope to meet you there.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you there in the Savion section, baby.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm being the leader of that section.
No, I'll be wearing my
You're the
Double D
leader.
podcast shirt. But
That means you're going to lead the chance. So that's some big shoes to fill.
Well, okay. Well, I'll need to crash course on what the chants are. I mean,
Okay.
Are there certain chants that we do? I got to practice from here until December 2nd.
It's whatever you want. As long as you're loud and I can feel it, it's all about the energy. That's what the Savion section brings. So just give up that energy, and I'll take care of the rest.
All right, man. I got it. I will lead the Savion section. We're going to pump you up. We're going to get you a win over this Jake Christ guy, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got his number.
How he thinks he is.
All right, man. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. Thank you again. And we'll hope to do this soon again sometime. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, man. See you.
See ya.